Please don't bother me, I'm on my lunch break. Pizza, burger, sandwich, lunch break, tofu, salad, hot dog, lunch break.
Welcome to another episode of Lunch Break. I'm AJ McNaughton.
I'm Kathleen Sturgeon.
With us today is Appen Media Group's own account executive extraordinaire, Steve Neese.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So to start off the show, we're going to put Jimmy John's on the clock, where we order a sandwich from Jimmy John's and see how long it takes them to deliver it.
Same one? Same type of sandwich?
No, this is a new sandwich this week. It is the number one Pepe. The time to beat is 11 minutes and 37 seconds. Let me go ahead and check out, and the clock starts now.
And as I was saying earlier, the thing when I went to Jimmy John's for the first time and I pay for my meal, I reached my hand out for my change and got my sandwich. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this can't be my sandwich. This is too fast.
You're expecting
a little
change.
too fast. And so
we had a couple listeners provide us with more information about a few topics that we talked about on the last show. So we wanted to clarify some of the points that we made, specifically Taco Bell's in Mexico. And no, there actually are no Taco Bells in Mexico. They did try to open some locations there on two separate occasions. First time in 1992, but the food was so inauthentic that the locals said no mas. They didn't want it. So they ended up leaving 2 years after they opened, so 94. They tried to do it again in 2007, but this time they said, we're not going to do authentic Mexican food. We're just going to do Taco Bell, how we do it. Did not go over well with the locals, and they shortly thereafter left Mexico, have not returned.
Not
since.
surprising. Can you imagine if you go to Mexico and Taco Bell is your option?
well, I know when I was in Ecuador this past summer and I was eating the authentic
Peruvian.
Peruvian.
Oh, wait, no, that would be Peru.
Ecuadorian. Same region, I guess, as Peru. But it wasn't, I sort of missed my Taco Bell at that point, you know, because I wasn't used to the authentic Ecuadorian.
Don't they eat guinea pigs?
I tried the guinea pig.
No.
Cuy, I believe is how they pronounce it.
No, I don't believe you.
So I had a friend that went to Peru, and he had tried it, and that was the first question he asked me when I told him I was going to Ecuador. Are you going to try the guinea pig? While in Rome, do as the Romans. So yes, my daughter-in-law's father ordered it at one of the restaurants, and me and my son, we took half the guinea pig. And
did you know it was guinea pig when you were eating it?
Oh, we did. Because you have the head and the feet and everything
No.
is still on there when it is served.
No.
That's
I'm
gross.
speechless right now. You ate a guinea pig, and you could see that it was a guinea pig.
You could see that it was a guinea pig.
So what did it taste like?
Oh, everybody wants to say chicken, but, it tasted like pork. It was kind of a greasy pork tenderloin almost. I mean, it was good. Very little meat. Yeah, it was about $25 American dollars for that guinea pig.
Do you know why it was so much?
I don't know if it's a delicacy but it is it's something that they eat a lot of down there. But, while in Rome, while in Ecuador.
That first fact check was brought to us by Hans Appen. The next fact check was by listener Ryan Gillen. And this one has to deal with pink slime. And we talked about McDonald's using pink slime in their chicken nuggets, which is not true. For a while, McDonald's was using quote-unquote pink slime up until, I think, 2011. The name sounds gross, but it's actually finely textured beef product made from the trimmings of the cow and treated with ammonia.
I don't know which sounds worse. Finally, what is it, textured beef product or guinea pig?
The guinea pig had no byproducts.
Oh, but it's a guinea pig.
This pink slime is apparently safe to eat. Even with the ammonia in it, it still sounds gross.
That was in 2011, you
2011, a lot of the restaurants, fast food restaurants, decided to drop the use of, though safe, kind of gross-sounding pink slime.
I was in college when that happened, and there's a McDonald's basically right on campus. That was a thing, with college students, especially the guys that I hung out with. They were always like, oh, we're going to go get all that pink slime and eat it. And they made a big deal about it, but they were like, you don't know any difference.
So you remember the Taco Bell too, they were the whole thing about they're not 100% beef. Mm-hmm. And then Taco Bell finally said, yeah, we're not. And this is what we've got. Mm-hmm. It's about 68%. And we're good with that.
It's a powder.
some kind of filler or something.
I feel like that's what you get, though, if you go out to eat. You don't really know what you're eating unless you make it yourself, So probably a lot of things, they don't say anything. When they heard the pink slime or the Taco Bell meat, they were probably like, oh, I'm just going to be quiet,
There were rumors for a while that Taco Bell was using dog food grade meat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess using powdered meat is a better alternative than using dog food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, there were rumors, probably back in the early 80s, that Wendy's was using worm burgers.
What?
Oh, yeah.
This is before our time.
That was a big rumor back in the early 80s, yeah, that, hey, this is some kind of worm patties or something.
Like worms in it?
I think it was like a big urban legend. It was a big myth that went around for a couple of years, and sort of, people would say, hey, you want to go to Wendy's? And it'd be like, well, I don't know,
I'm not really feeling a worm today.
So I feel like all these fast foods are at some point in their lifetime, going to expect something.
So switching gears a little bit here, Steve. You started off your career, maybe you didn't start off your career, at one point in your life.
At one point, one of my vast many career changes.
You worked in a steakhouse, a couple of different steakhouses.
That's right.
And the first steakhouse you worked at was Western Sizzlin'.
That's correct. And I worked for a gentleman who owned about 7.
Hold on one second. Hello?
Hi, Jimmy Johnson's here.
All right. Thanks, Susan.
So what was the time to beat?
The time to beat was 11:37.
11:41.
Wow.
Wow.
So close. Second place.
So right about the same time.
Yeah, so they only took 5 seconds longer, but they still beat time 1. So
Yeah, they're having an off day then.
Okay, so back to it. Yeah, so anyway, I work for a gentleman who owns 7 of the locations, and so I split time between Sandy Springs, Roswell, and Marietta.
How did you start at Western Sizzlin'? Did you know the owner?
No, most of my early career jobs was started by a girlfriend wanting to say, hey, you know what? I want to do something other than just eating dinner that your mother cooked
So you got
at your house.
So you got a job to pay
So
for.
I got a job to pay for dates. So I was going to school during the day and working at Western Sizzlin' at night. So I managed for about 3.5 years for them.
How old were you when you started? Did you say that?
20, 21.
I've never been to a Western Sizzlin'. Actually, all of the ones in our area are now closed. I was looking them up. Apparently, they go all the way as far north as Ohio, and they're in Oklahoma and kind of all down the East Coast. Another thing that I read about was they coined the term flame kissed. It's a registered trademark of Western Sizzlin'. That's how I like my marshmallows. I just stick it in the fire.
Flame kiss. That's a
burns
good
up.
way to describe it, yeah.
Or burnt. Blackened,
I like burnt.
blackened
Yeah.
marshmallows.
But apparently, flame kissed is they sear the bottom and the top to seal in the juices.
That's right. That's right. And when I first started, I had no idea what searing was. But yes, and by the time I left, I was having to, I would have to jump over and relieve the cooks who were just completely blown away by all the orders coming in. And I would have 4 grill tops just slapped full of steaks, and knowing which one's medium rare, this one, having to get them just right. And now I am like the steak cooker of the family.
Are you? You still do it?
I'm the grill master, say.
Where did you go from Western Sizzlin'?
I was sort of in between jobs, and I had a chance to start with Ceiling Fan Company, Dan's Fan City. There's still one location in Roswell, so I did that until he decided to sell the franchises. So I was without a job and went right back into the steakhouse business with Golden Corral.
Yes, I'm very intrigued by Golden Corral's history because I've only ever known it as it is today as a buffet, but apparently before that it was a steakhouse.
Western Sizzlin' and Golden Corral, there were several others. There was Ryan's. There was a one called Circle L. And yeah, it was all like a cafeteria style. So you come in and you get your plate and your tray, and then you had, options. You could order sirloin tips. You could get a filet, a ribeye, and we had different cuts, different sizes. And when I first started at Western Sizzlin' and Golden Corral, so when you come through the line, the first thing you're going to be asked is, would you care for a salad with your meal? And you could get a regular salad, which a girl would prepare for you behind the counter, or you could get a salad bar. So when the salad bars came in, it was like everybody's like, oh yeah, I want the salad bar. Well, that's an extra $2.29.
Was it all you could eat?
It was all you could could eat. And then they moved up and they said, oh, we're expanding the salad bar. And they introduced the potato bar.
Whoa.
Baked potato?
Baked potato. So you had the sour cream and the butter and the chives and the bacon bits, or French fries. And there we were cutting the French fries all by hand, nothing frozen. We never had a frozen French fry, which I miss so bad today.
Can you tell the difference?
Oh, you can certainly tell the difference. It was all about the steak, It wasn't a salad bar, and now you go into a Golden Corral and
There's pizza there.
pizza, fried chicken, maybe some barbecue.
So they kind of got away from the whole model of meat and steak and went into whatever you want to shove your face with.
Have you ever been to one, AJ?
I have never been to a Golden Corral.
I've been once and then I got pneumonia. I don't know if it's related or not.
Well, it's better than food poisoning.
After I went there. But I also went to Chick-fil-A in the same weekend and then
Can you still go to Chick-fil-A?
Well, that was back when I ate meat. It was back in early middle school and I got chicken tenders and I didn't eat them. And that's when my mom knew something was wrong when I wouldn't eat my chicken tenders. And then after that, no, I mean, I can't really say if I would eat them again, obviously.
That was the definitive moment when you became a vegetarian? You had pneumonia.
No. She knew I was sick when I wouldn't eat.
Was there a definitive moment when you became a vegetarian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw an episode of Oprah about mad cow disease. And this was in 7th grade. It was when mad cow was like a big thing. And I thought, okay, well, that's scary. I don't want mad cow.
Sure.
So I stopped eating cow. I can never think beef. And I just call it the animal.
Whatever it's called.
The animal, And then after doing that for a little while, I was like, this is kind of stupid to just not eat beef. And so I slowly did no chicken. I didn't really like fish, so that wasn't a big loss. I'd never ate it. Didn't really eat pork. So it was just chicken and beef that I was just kind of like, nope, not a thing. And then since then, about 13, 14 years later, I don't like crave it. Everybody always says that. They're like, don't you miss it? And I'm like, not at all.
Do you think you would ever turn vegan?
I've tried, but it's hard. It's very hard. First of all, I have a cheese addiction. It's a fact. But also because when I did try to do it for about 2 weeks last year, everything has some sort of milk or cheese ingredient in it. When you read the ingredients on the back, everything. It's stuff that I tried to find just marinara and I could find one out of all the jars at Kroger. And there was maybe 50 or so different types. And there was only one that didn't have some sort of milk. And I'm like, it's just tomatoes. So it was difficult. It was very hard.
I remember one time in college or high school, I was talking to a friend and my friend was vegan. I decided I was going to try it. And that night I went home and I was looking through the cabinet. And I'm like, there is nothing to eat. So I was like, I'll just have a peanut butter sandwich. And so I'm eating the sandwich and I look at the bread. I look at the bread and it had milk in it.
Yeah.
I had tried and failed within an hour of my attempt.
It's hard. I mean, unless you eat just straight up vegetables and fruit, then everything else is a little bit more difficult to figure out. I've tried it. I was really hungry, probably because I was kind of ignorant to what I could eat.
Do you think you would try it again?
Yeah, I've considered it off and on.
A lot of rice and beans, right?
Yeah, you could eat that. But the other thing is there's a lot of products in our house already that I would need to finish because I wouldn't want it to go to waste just because I decided one day to go vegan. And then it's well, you have all this milk and cheese.
You would need to give yourself a start date and say, I need to eat everything in the house by this date.
Well, that's what I did last fall. I said, okay, once I'm through I won't buy any more, but once I eat all of this, then I can go for it. And I might try to do it again.
Steve, do you think could you go vegetarian?
No.
That's what everybody says.
They would joke with me and say, because I love chicken. Fried chicken is like the bomb. And they were like, Steve, steak or chicken? I'm like, chicken every day. They're like, man, you crazy.
At Golden Corral?
Oh, anywhere. No, this was at another job. They were asking me, but because they say, man, that Steve eats more chicken than anybody I have ever seen. Say the boy likes his yard bird.
Do you eat roasted chicken or is it strictly fried chicken?
No, last night I had the rotisserie chicken. It's like I'm at Kroger. Okay, what's for supper tonight? Ooh, here's a chicken already cooked.
It doesn't even need to be fried. You'll eat any kind of chicken over a steak.
Any kind of chicken over a steak.
Pink slime chicken.
No, my chicken is not in shapes. It doesn't look like dinosaurs or stars or moons. So I feel pretty safe with the chicken that I eat.
Do you have any fun stories from working at Golden Corral?
Well, we were talking about different meats. I remember one time the cook was really, he just was overcome with so many orders. It was a Friday night. We were packed. We had an hour and a half line out the door. I'm behind the grill trying to catch the cook up. And all of a sudden, one of the waitresses comes out and says, Steve, we got a guy out here. He is really upset. Can you come talk to him? So I go out there. Hey, sir, how are you? Y'all doing all right? Oh, sir, we're doing fine. We just have a problem with the steak. Well, what's wrong with the steak, sir? Well, it's not meat. It's not beef. I said, excuse me? He said, no, this is horse meat.
No.
I said, excuse me? He said, no, I've tried horse meat before, and that's what I'm eating right here is horse meat. Now, I'm 20 years old. I don't know how to handle this. Sir, let me cook you another steak. He says, no. I said, please, sir, let me try this again. Something's wrong. Perhaps you just got a bad cut. I went and got another steak straight from the same bin that I got the other one from. Took it out there to him. Said it was the best steak that he had ever had. Wow. So I don't know if he'd just got a bad piece, but to a young kid here, that was the last thing I expected was, this is horse meat. What are y'all serving me?
You should have offered him the guinea pig.
That would have been good.
Had I known then.
Okay, so let me ask a question. As meat eaters, you hear all of this constantly about different places and different types of meat being weird things or not real, and it doesn't freak you out, it doesn't gross you out, because I heard the one report by Oprah and I was done. I was like, I'm not risking that anymore.
Peace.
When we were in Ecuador, I would ask my daughter-in-law, Fabiola, I would say, Fabiola, what's for dinner tonight? She said, oh, Steve, we're having chicken or meat. And I said, what do you mean meat? Like beef? No, Steve, just meat. And so we weren't sure. We weren't sure if that was beef, if that was
pig, guinea pig,
horse,
goat,
cat,
so
dog.
Hopefully, it wasn't human.
that was the joke. It's like, and so one night I thought, they haven't served a steak tonight because we've had chicken and we've had fish. Tonight's got to be steak, and sure enough, I was right, and it had some kind of gravy over the steak, and it was horrible.
Well, as a steak connoisseur,
only one who ate it was my granddaughter, and she was calling it mud. She said, "Oh, Papa, this mud is so good." But that's all we got was, it is meat, Steve. Meat.
And you didn't question it?
Well,
you weren't like, I'll have a salad?
I would take a bite, and most of the time I did not care for it, so I was done. But it was funny. One morning we said, Steve, this is a traditional breakfast that we have, and we're serving it to you today. It was a fish soup. And
breakfast?
For breakfast. And that was, that was kind of hard to stomach with fried plantains. And that was
those are good.
That was their traditional breakfast.
So was this from a restaurant or a hotel or a family?
No, this was family preparing this one.
What is in fish soup?
Some type of fish. I thought it was some kind of pork tenderloin, and one of the ladies said no. She said that's the fish that we are, and she's preparing that for the stew. Now this was about 7:00 in the morning as I'm in the kitchen fumbling around just being nosy. But I did not know that at 7 in the morning the fish soup stew that they were making was for our breakfast about an hour later. And no, we had a hard time getting that one down. Then they asked me, Steve, what do you have over in the United States that is tradition? I said, well, there's grits, and they didn't know what grits were.
I didn't know what grits were for the longest time. I've had them once or twice. They're just not for me. It's very bland. I'll mix in butter and salt and pepper just to try and...
That's what gives it the taste.
I love grits.
What about shrimp and grits? That's supposed to be good, right?
Depends where you go.
Yeah, and that's a big thing that's going on now. I know that one of our advertisers won a best of for their shrimp and grits.
Yeah, that's almost trendy right now. I feel like a lot of new restaurants are doing that.
And I don't know if that's a Cajun thing.
Well, they would do crawfish, if anything. But some people put sugar in their grits, and it's a big debate, and that sounds horrible.
Can't you put jam in grits?
Ew.
No, that's not a thing?
I've heard salt or sugar, and it's like people go back and forth based on where you're from.
When I was in high school, we had a couple of guys from the north that were visiting our church, and they were staying with families from the church, and so we had a couple of guys staying with us, and my mother had fixed Sunday morning breakfast before church. Hey, would you like some grits? Oh, I've heard of those. I would love to try one or two. And we thought that was the funniest thing we'd heard, one or two grits. You couldn't even get on your fork.
Food fight.
Our next segment today is Food Fight, where Kathleen competes against our special guest, Steve, to see who knows the most pointless information about the different facets of the food industry. We'll play 4 rounds of mini games. Each round has a different point value. Person with the most points at the end of the game wins. This first mini game is called Chip In. This game begs the question, when did potato chips stop being potato flavored? I will list off a current flavor of potato chip from one of 3 brands: Lay's, Pringles, or Zapp's. The first contestant to buzz in and correctly answer the name of the chip company will be rewarded 1 point. So, Steve, you're going to be ringing in with the bell. And Kathleen will have the squeaker. So, we ready?
Yes.
Ready.
Honey barbecue. Kathleen?
Lay's.
Lay's is correct.
That was a close call.
The next chip flavor is French onion dip. Steve?
Pringles.
Pringles is correct.
Yes.
The next chip flavor is tangy buffalo wing.
Zapp's.
No, it's not Zapp's.
Lay's.
No, it was Pringles.
Man.
So no one gets the point on that one. The next chip flavor is sour cream and Creole onion. Kathleen?
Zapp's.
Yes.
Creole.
I guess for all of the listeners not in the South, Zapp's is based in
New Orleans.
New Orleans, Louisiana. So the next chip flavor is cheeseburger. Kathleen?
Oh, man. Lay's.
Nope. Steve?
Pringles.
It's Pringles.
Dang. I could picture it in my head, too.
Yeah, I could see it in my mind's eye.
Well, you know how they've done the, like, where they do, where they seek input from the public, where they ask, like, we've narrowed it down to these weird flavors.
Sure.
You vote
Like a
for 'em.
poll.
Yeah, and so I could see all the weird flavors from Pringles and Lay's because they've done that a lot.
The next chip flavor is honey mustard.
Lay's.
No. Kathleen?
Zapp's?
No, it's Pringles.
Dang, Pringles gets me every time.
The next chip flavor is voodoo.
I was waiting for this one. Zapp's.
Zapp's is correct. The next chip flavor is mesquite barbecue. Steve?
Lay's.
It is not Lay's. Steve, you were so confident about that
Oh,
one.
yeah. It was like I bought it yesterday.
Pringles?
No, it was Zapp's.
The one time I go for Pringles.
Did you buy mesquite barbecue yesterday? Do I need to throw that one out?
No, I guess it was Lay's barbecue that I bought. I
think
don't buy Zapp's.
The
though.
mesquite probably gets you.
Yep.
I cross-referenced all the different flavors.
So there's not a mesquite Lay's, huh?
Not that I saw. The next chip flavor is Southern biscuits and gravy.
That's Lay's.
That is Lay's.
That's one of those weird contests that
Yes.
they had.
Yep.
Mhm.
Have you ever tried to enter?
I've voted for flavors.
Do you remember which one?
I think waffles. What was it? Pancakes and
Pancakes and waffles.
yeah, or waffle syrup or something.
Didn't they have chicken and waffles one time?
Maybe that was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not pancakes and waffles.
And you voted for chicken and waffles?
Maybe I didn't.
Would you still eat a meat-flavored chip?
I've tried one once. I actually think it was that one of our former coworkers brought a bag in and he tried all the different flavors. And I think that was one of them. And it was something that had, maybe it was like chicken wings or something. It was some sort of meat. I checked the ingredients. There was no actual meat product in it.
The next chip flavor is loaded baked potato.
Pringles.
Pringles is correct.
Finally.
The next chip flavor is Cajun crottators.
Zapp's.
Steve got it. The next flavor is pico de gallo. Kathleen?
Lay's?
Lay's is correct.
That was a total guess.
Currently, the score is 5-4 Kathleen. The next flavor is Tapatio Limon. Kathleen?
Zapp's.
It's not Zapp's.
Oh.
Pringles.
No, it was Lay's. Steve was like, I got this one. I know it. And no, he didn't. Okay, the next chip flavor is Hotter and Hot Jalapeno.
Zapp's.
Yes, it is.
That's my brother's favorite chip.
Hotter and
They're really hot. They really are. They're good, but they're very hot. He likes spicy food, so for him, it's like, this is normal.
The next chip flavor is roasted garlic and sea salt. Steve.
Lay's.
It is Lay's.
He rang that bell without any idea.
The next chip flavor is pizza.
Pringles. I love those.
I don't think I've ever had the pizza Pringles.
It's very good. It's like pizza goldfish. Those are very good too.
The next chip flavor is milk chocolate covered. Kathleen?
Lay's.
It is Lay's. The next chip flavor is Nissan Top Ramen Chicken.
Let's go with Pringles.
It's Pringles.
Hey.
Wow.
I was trying to think trendy.
The next chip flavor is Memphis barbecue.
Lay's.
No,
Pringles.
it is Pringles.
I think Lay's is just plain old barbecue.
This is the last one. So going into the last chip flavor, Kathleen has 9 points. Steve has 6. The next chip flavor is Cajun dill gator tater. I'm going to say Kathleen.
Cajun.
Oh, no. That would be Zaps.
Zap.
Cajun tater chips.
I don't know. You answered
I
Cajun.
fumbled. Zap.
Well, that is also not correct.
Oh.
It's Zaps. With
Oh,
an
come
S.
on.
Steve are going to give it to her.
Close enough.
Our next mini game is called Table Talk. I will give each contestant clues to the word written on the card without saying the word or any part of the word. Contestants will have 15 seconds to guess the word. The words were provided by an independent third party, Hans Appen, one more time. So I haven't seen any of the clues. Each contestant will take turns guessing, and each correct response will earn you 2 points.
Ready, set, go.
So currently, Kathleen is up 10-6.
Steve's word is chicken and waffles.
This is something, a breakfast food.
Sausage, bacon,
No, it's you might find it in Belgium,
pancakes, waffles,
but you also put some type of your favorite thing on top of it.
whipped cream,
No, your favorite thing to eat.
Chocolate.
You like it better than steak.
chicken and waffles.
It's 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You got it
So-
right at 20.
He got it?
Right at 20.
So you're going to give it to him.
I'd give it to him since you gave me Cajun.
Kathleen's word is grits.
This is another breakfast food. You want to eat more than one or two of them.
Pancakes? Waffles?
No, Steve's friends from the north wanted-
Grits.
How ironic that the
I know.
first two clues were both things that we talked about.
And we didn't plan this.
You want to eat more than one or two of them. That was a good clue. I was like, grits, all right.
Steve's word is honey bun.
You get these in vending machines. It's a pastry. It comes in
Cinnamon bun.
similar to that, but it's a byproduct of bees.
Honey bun.
Yes.
Those used to be all the rage in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to, I don't know why, just in middle school, they used to get them out of the vending machine. It was like the thing. It was almost like if you didn't have one, you weren't cool. I don't know why. It was a thing to like carry around a honey bun from a vending machine.
Hey, Kathleen, you got your honey bun?
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't like
You got
them,
any
but
honey buns for sale, man?
You didn't like honey buns,
I
but
didn't.
you had them just to be cool.
I don't think I ever really got them. I was kind of like, this is stupid.
Kathleen's word is sloppy Joe.
You would not want to eat one of these?
Bacon,
No, it's served on a bun,
hamburger,
ground beef. It's
Cheeseburger.
similar to that, but it's mashed up and you have a
Sloppy
sauce.
Joes.
Yes.
Steve's word is Pop-Tarts.
This is another breakfast food that you put in an appliance to make them warm. And they're made by Kellogg's. Get them at the grocery store. Eat them at home.
Waffle. Eggos.
Close.
Eggo
but it's
waffles.
like fruit-filled Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Oh,
Sorry, I was a little slow to...
Yeah, I was thinking some kind of pastry or something, but I love Pop-Tarts. I just never put them in the toaster, though.
me neither.
No?
They're better in the toaster, but I usually don't eat them toasted.
No, don't have time for it.
Kathleen's word is tater tots.
This is a side item when you order a burger.
Fries,
It's similar to that.
tater tots.
Yes.
Ask me a question about tater tots. Come at me.
Steve's word is meatloaf.
This was a singer. He was also named after a food. He would do anything for love, but he won't do that.
Meatloaf. Hey.
Good job.
Last one for Kathleen.
Kathleen's word is McDonald's McRib.
This is a fast food item from a restaurant with a clown. It
Big
doesn't.
Mac?
It's that restaurant, but it's a specialty item. Comes around like once a year,
McRib?
but you have to say them both. The restaurant.
McDonald's McRib?
So at the end of round 2, the score is 18-12, Kathleen. But Steve, you still have some time to make it up. Don't worry. Don't get discouraged by the score. This next game is called the Showcase Chowdown. Over the years, different varieties of Girl Scout cookies have been introduced and others discontinued, which brings us to the rules of the next game. I will list off the name of a Girl Scout cookie that is no longer available. Each contestant will guess the year it was discontinued. The person closest to the actual year without going over will be awarded 3 points. If both contestants are over, we'll start again and guess again. Introduced in 1993 and discontinued in this year, Snaps were iced oatmeal raisin cookies.
10 years.
So it was discontinued in 2003?
2003.
I'm going to say 2000.
You're both over.
98. 5 years.
95.
The actual year was 97, so Kathleen was closest without going over. This one was one of my personal favorites. It was introduced in 1999. Animal Treasures were square-shaped shortbread cookies dipped in fudge and embossed with an endangered animal. Discontinued in this year, they were replaced by the still available Thanks a Lot.
I'm going to say 2010.
2008.
You're both over.
2005.
2004.
It was 2005. Right on the dot. So this next cookie, Vanchos, was available from 1974 until this year. They were chocolate and vanilla sandwich cookies that came in an assorted box. Vanchos were a throwback to the 1950s flavors of Girl Scout cookies when only shortbread, chocolate-filled, vanilla-filled, and the chocolate mint were available.
87.
85.
You're both over.
We have such great expectations for
Yes,
these
we
cookie
do.
companies. Okay, 79.
75.
They were discontinued in 83, so
Oh.
Steve was closest. This next cookie, I say cookie. The box may have said cookies, but golden Yangles, sold from the early 1980s until this year, were actually a cheese cracker.
I'm going to say 85.
92.
Right on the dot. 1992 was when they were discontinued.
And I've missed them ever since.
Do you remember them?
No.
Well, I'm surprised they lasted that long.
Yeah, me too.
Who gets goldfish or golden Yangles from Girl Scouts?
Maybe they were struggling. They were really trying to reach new audience.
I guess. I'm going to pass up the Thin Mints for these cheese crackers.
The Yangles.
The Yangles.
Give me the Yangles.
This next cookie was named after Girl Scout founder Juliette Lowe. The Juliette was an iteration of another discontinued cookie, the Golden Nut Cluster. The Golden Nut Cluster?
I'm sorry. Okay, keep going.
Is that funny?
Yes.
What's so funny about Golden Nut Cluster?
Cluster's a funny word.
Yes, it is.
So it was named after another discontinued cookie, the Golden Nut Cluster, Kathleen's favorite. It was available from 1984 to 1985, and then again from 1993 to this year. And I'll give you a hint. They did not... So the first iteration went from 84 to 85. The next one was started in 93. It didn't last very long.
Yeah, 95.
Yeah, and I'm going 94.
It was 96.
Lasted longer than the first round of nut
Yeah,
clusters.
that's what I was basing mine off of. Another year of down the drain Girl Scouts.
That was actually the last one. At the end of round 3, Kathleen, you have 27, and Steve, you have 18. Don't worry, there's time to make it all up, Steve.
Hate losing.
This last round is called Born on a Bayou. The point system is Final Jeopardy style. You can wager as many points as you have and as few as 0. The question: the Cajun holy trinity of cooking consists of what 3 vegetables? We will go with Steve first for his answer. Steve, how many points did you wager?
I wagered 10 points.
10 points. And your answer?
Onion, garlic, and tomato.
Kathleen?
I wagered 1 point.
1 point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, last time I wagered everything and then I lost by 1 point. So this time I'm trying to do the 1 point system.
Okay.
I did potatoes, corn, and collard greens.
You were both wrong. The correct answer is onion, bell pepper, and celery.
That's interesting.
Kathleen is the winner. First time that she's won out of
2 games.
2 games. So Kathleen, you ended up with 26 points, and Steve, you ended up with 8 points.
Let's review.
Every week, we scour the internet for the best reviews on food or food-related products, from hilariously sarcastic evaluations to cringe-worthy criticisms. So without further ado, let's review. So today's review is not a food, it's not a restaurant, and it is a review on a food container. It is called the Banana Bunker. Has anyone heard of this?
No.
I don't think so, at least not as it relates to food.
Well, it basically is the shape of a banana, and you put your banana inside it, and there you go. That's the gist of it.
Isn't that the point of a banana peel?
Yes. So that's what this review is about. It's very sarcastic. It is $9.95 on Amazon. And this review says, for my entire life, I've left bananas unprotected. Sitting on the kitchen counter like a toddler in the middle of the freeway. Of course, I was worried about them. How would the delicate peel shield these wonderful treats from the unpredictable mayhem of my kitchen? Hundreds of times I've taken a banana with me without so much as a paper bag to defend it. Actually, it was normal for people of my generation to even drive with the banana riding shotgun unbuckled. I cringe when I think about it. Since buying the Banana Bunker, in yellow of course, I transport bananas with reckless abandon. I throw my bunkered bananas at coworkers, neighborhood kids, and passing cars. Everything I always wanted to do with a banana, but feared for the banana's integrity, I'm able to do now. I think everyone should have one. Mother's Day shopping just got a heck of a lot easier. Thank you, Banana Bunker.
That is a good point. Mother's Day is
All
coming up
moms
right
need
around
a
the corner.
Banana bunker.
You know, my mom has always told me, out of all the fruit, do not get bananas organic, because they come in their own little protective casing, so they're the only ones that you don't have to buy organic.
Sure.
So this is kind of funny.
What about an orange?
I guess an orange. She's never told me, warned me
Tangerine.
about. Or
Avocado?
Cuties. Oh, yeah, avocado. But avocados get squished so easily. They can't really protect themselves. But bananas do, too.
Okay, so last I have to tell you the story. So my wife is doing this diet, and she's doing a lot of smoothies. And so I was getting ready to go to the golf course this past weekend, and I thought, oh, I need to take a banana with me, and that'd be, good to eat on the way to. And so as I had one handful, I went to grab a banana, and as I'm pulling the one banana from the bunch, well, all the tops come off.
Oh, no.
From every banana.
I've done that where you pop them all open.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I tore the top off of the one that I was keeping, and I tried to put the top back on the bananas so my wife would know.
If you had a Banana Bunker, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh yeah, because they turn like brown within hours, and my wife's like, honey, did you have a problem with the bananas over here? As all the tops were missing, and I put them in a Ziploc, and that did not work.
What happens if you get a banana that's too big?
They don't have different sizes as far as I know.
One size fits all?
Yes. There's only one Banana Bunker. They're assuming all bananas are about the same.
So would you buy a Banana Bunker?
I would not.
Do you eat a lot of bananas?
Sort of, except I'm allergic to some proteins in fruits, and those are one of the kinds that I'm allergic to, so it kind of feels like I'm eating razor blades on the roof of my mouth.
Oh.
Not like that bad, but it hurts, so I don't really eat them that often. No, but I will enjoy a banana from time to time.
I don't think the pain's worth it.
I don't know. I like bananas. I like peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
That is good. That was Elvis'
That's Elvis's.
favorite thing.
I thought that was the answer to the meatloaf question earlier, but then I realized the sandwich was named after him, not him named after a sandwich.
Elvis?
Yeah, because there's an Elvis sandwich.
There is?
Yeah, it's a peanut butter and banana.
Didn't he also like to eat squirrel?
No.
Am I making that
No.
up?
First I've heard of it.
I'm probably making that up.
But I've heard always peanut butter and banana
Yeah.
was Elvis's thing. Speaking of bananas, Tams does a banana pudding in a 16-ounce
Yeah, in a little
mug.
mason jar.
Mason jar thing.
It's so good.
Where is Tam's at? That's in Forsyth.
Exit 14.
Yep.
You come off exit right, and it's keep going a little bit in there. It's down on the right.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Lunch Break. Thanks again to Steve Neese for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for talking about your experiences with Golden Corral, Western Sizzlin', eating guinea pig.
Got to try it once in your life.
There you go. I'm AJ McNaughton.
I'm Kathleen Sturgeon.
Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for listening.
That episode was tasty.